My book of choice is Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief. So, to give a brief summary, The Lightning Thief is the first book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series by Rick Riordan. The novel follows Percy Jackson, a 12-year-old boy who discovers he is a demigod, the son of Poseidon, the Greek god of the sea. Now, for a quick plot overview, Percy is accused of stealing Zeus's lightning bolt, and then he embarks on a quest across the United States to retrieve the bolt and clear his name. Number 3, alongside his friends Annabeth Chase and Grover Underwood, Percy faces various mythological creatures and challenges just to get there. And lastly, the journey leads him to discover his identity and the existence of the gods in modern time. Before we go to the plot, let's go over some of the elements of the story. So, number 1, we have the characters. First, we have Percy Jackson, who is the protagonist, a brave and loyal demigod. Number 2, we have Annabeth Chase, daughter of Athena. She is intelligent and very resourceful. Number 3, Grover Underwood, a satyr and Percy Jackson's protector, representing friendship and loyalty in the story. And lastly, we have Ares, the god of war, representing conflict and adversity. Next, we have the setting. Primarily, it is set in modern day America with significant locations including Camp Half Blood, which is somewhere, Mount Olympus, and most uh, notably, we have the Empire State Building and various mythological landmarks scattered across. Next, we have the themes. The themes are identity and self discovery, which is obviously connected to Percy Jackson, to knowing who he is from a 12-year-old regular kid somewhere in America. I'm not very particular about it anymore. But he starts to develop these feelings for himself and who he really is. That's why the main theme in this book is identity and self-discovery. Alongside that, we have friendship and loyalty, just like what I said about Grover. He is the representative of friendship, especially in this story. Next, we have courage and heroism, which is linked to how Percy Jackson would overcome his challenges throughout the story. And lastly, clash of ancient and modern worlds, because obviously this is set in modern America, but most of the characters, all of the characters, are linked to Greek mythology, which is like way, way, way back then, especially in like scriptures and yeah. The writing style is first person narrative because it entails the story of Percy Jackson through his own eyes and through his own actions and experiences. It's very humorous, obviously, although it's a book that is used for all ages. It closely resembles, or it closely mm, connects itself to a specific audience for beginners, and it's very action packed. Obviously, there are gods, there are monsters, there's bound to be battles that are action packed. Now, let's go about how or why others should read this book. First of all, as I mentioned a while ago, it is engaging for all ages. While targeted at middle graders and again, like first time readers, the themes and humor resonate with older audiences as well for the references and lore dumps of these mythologies. Number 2, cultural education. The book introduces readers to Greek mythology in an entertaining way because although it's somehow connected to the original scriptures of how these Greek gods work, it has a more modern entail to how they are represented. Number 3, um, there are a lot of relatable characters that we can find throughout the story. There are a lot of strong moral lessons that anyone, any age, can learn from. And lastly, it is an inspiration for future generations because, like with the themes, it does have the main theme of self discovery, and that can be a big lesson for kids or teenagers who still don't understand where they are representing, where they are in the real world, and who they want to be. And with that out of the way, we can finally go to the story. In the beginning, life at Yancy Academy. The story opens with Percy attending the private school for troubled kids where he struggles with dyslexia and ADHD. He feels out of place and always bullied at times. And next is the field trip incident. This is the basically the start of where the mythology comes into the story. During the field trip to the Museum of Art, Percy encounters a monstrous creature, the Furies, who attack him, his teacher, and who turns out to be monsters in disguise. Reveals the true nature that he, Percy Jackson, is a demigod. This incident marks the beginning of Percy's journey. Um, Arrival at Camp Half Blood. Now that he knows that he is a demigod, there are people who will help him for to get him to Camp Half Blood, which is a camp for demigods, because they're the children of gods, Greek mythological gods, who had affairs with humans. Now, for the rushing action, the quest. Percy learns that he has been accused of stealing Zeus's lightning bolt, a powerful weapon to prevent war among gods. And now he joins forces with Annabeth Chase, the daughter of Athena, and Grover, who is a satyr. Basically, I think a satyr is half man, half goat, but you gotta fact check me on that. Together they set off on an epic quest of, friendship, action, drama, especially family drama. And next we have the climax. The group travels to the underworld where they confront Hades, who is also a character. He reveals that he does not have the lightning bolt, but rather Percy's mother, Sally Jackson, who has been captured. And this moment gives a lot of meaning and a lot of mental turmoil on Percy Jackson, because not only did he go to one of the most evil characters in Greek mythology, but for him to say that his mother is the one who stole the bolt, and for him to be pointed the finger at that he stole it. And for the following action, retrieving the actual bolt itself. After a fierce battle with monsters and a showdown with Hades, because obviously he stole it, Percy manages to retrieve the lightning bolt and rescue his mother alongside that. And with the thunderbolt and with his mother, he returns back to Olympus. The team travels back to New York, which is where the Empire State Building is, which is also the representation of where Olympus is. And he goes to Zeus at Mount Olympus. This act of bravery restores peace among all of the gods, because, it's there now. And lastly, for the conclusion, they return back to Camp Half-Blood. After successfully completing the quest, Percy is celebrated as the hero of Camp Half-Blood. However, he grapples with his identity as a demigod and challenges that lie ahead. For the decisions he makes in the future, Percy must choose whether to stay there at Camp Half-Blood or return to his mortal life. I mean, if that were me, being a 12-year-old kid who was told that he is a demigod, I feel like, it's a cool thing. But if you're me now, 19 years old, in college, finally knows what he wants to do, I feel like it would be a rough choice to say the least. And then setting up for his future adventures, the book ends with hints, just a little bit of the upcoming events in later books, leaving readers eager, like any other book that's a series trying to add more action, add more plot, add more, you know, lore to characters, to a story for the next installment. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed my book talk. And oh, wait, before we end, let me give you some real world relations that this book has to real life. So, number one, with the surge of mental health and how to take care of that, we first have identity and belonging. Percy's journey reflects the universal struggle for identity that many young people face, and his feelings of being an outsider due to his disabilities mirror real world experiences of students who feel different just because they have these differences from normal people. Next, we have friendship and loyalty, which is very self explanatory. Um, since this is also a plot where the main characters are children, it very heavily carries the weight of having messages that can inspire children who are also going through these types of challenges and try to find people who are like them, people who understand what they're going through, and to be there for them after everything is said and done. And lastly, we have family dynamics, which in Percy's relationship with his mother, Sally Jackson, showcases the importance of family support. It emphasizes how parental figures can shape one's identity and provide encouragement similar to real world family dynamics, which hopefully everybody has the chance to, feel that. And blended families, because, God, Father, a literal father of God, and then just a normal ass mother. Uh, the idea of demigods having godly parents and mortal mothers or fathers reflect modern family structures wherein some children are put into scenarios where they have to live a double life just because of how their parents' personality or background is. Like saying having a really rich parent while the other one is being a really poor parent, and so you get two sides of one coin, because first you have to learn how to work in the real world versus how to survive it. And that truly is the end of my book talk. Thank you.